Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. Lawmakers crunch up big numbers for a budget due in 7 days. Also tonight, the governor signs 2 election bills into law. And government officials are working to make starting a business in the CNMI much easier. In sports, this league had so many upsets, they needed Pepto-Bismol. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
Great customer rep, always willing to go above and beyond for his customers.
I truly hope she gets noticed at work, since I do see she is a hard worker.
The field technician that visited my home was great and helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. Uni, keep it up.
Your customer service is always very good.
Awesome customer service with great technicians that are really helpful.
Thank you so much, Sherlyn and Docomo Pacific.
That's so sweet. Feels good to see this kind of messages because we try our best to do customer service.
We make sure that we will 100% resolve the issues.
For all those people that are seeking assistance.
I just want my customers happy.
And help them out each and every day.
I would want to go to a place with someone that's just like me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Come to Docomo and you'll feel like you're at home.
Buy one, get one free for the off-road adventure at Mariana's Trekking. Come ride our side-by-sides at our best price ever and experience a great 90-minute trail ride. Rain or shine, hopefully rain. Book now at Mariana's Trekking, Saturdays and Sundays by reservation. Call 323-8735 or book at marianastrekking.com.
It's gonna look a little different in here. Your favorite spot might not be exactly where it used to be. Being next in line might feel a little less like next in line. And our smiles might come with a little extra shine. But McDonald's is ready to take your order as safely as we can.
Half a day to Uwami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Wednesday, September 23rd, 2020. The Senate has made changes to the House budget bill that proposes over $13 million more from the original proposal. Sally Lemus reports.
On Tuesday, 19 members of the House voted to adopt the Senate's version of the House concurrent resolution that proposes $96.47 million. The Senate's version is $13.81 million more than what the House originally proposed in July. Ways and Means Chairman Ivan Blanco tells us where the extra funds will be coming from.
The Senate suspended several earmarks. For example, the solid waste excise tax of 7%, the GHLI, the CIQ for the airport, MVA, and MPLT, interest payment. So there are available resources that they made changes to ours of 86 million, went up to $96 million. So by suspending those earmarks, they made funds available to their proposal in the concurrent resolution to give additional money to PSS.
That means an extra $3 million will be going to the public school system. Another concern brought up on Tuesday's session was if changes to the concurrent resolution was constitutional, specifically if the Senate can suspend earmarks.
Per our counsel, as long as the budgetary resources that were identified by the governor of $144 million did not change, then yes, it's within our power or the Senate's power to do so.
The governor is required by Constitution to present a balanced budget proposal that details anticipated revenues and recommended expenditures. Both amounts should be the same.
So he identified $144 million and the budget plan expenditure at $144 million. That did not change from the House concurrent resolution. So there was a lot of back and forth discussion among the members, and at the end of the day we decided that since it's constitutional, and given the timing that we needed to get the concurrent resolution out and actually work on the details in the budget bill, all the members, the majority of the members decided that we must move forward.
It is crucial that the CNMI government enact a new and balanced budget before October 1 to avoid a government shutdown.
The House of Representatives in the federal government just sent the Senate their version of their budget. And if the Senate does not act on it, then there will be a federal shutdown. And their estimates is that it will be worse this time because we're in a pandemic. And if that is the case, I foresee that that will also be the case for us because we're in a pandemic. We have so many furloughed employees that I hope that this budget will be able to bring them back. Critical services. Without, for example, should a shutdown happen, we won't have any government personnel out there collecting fees. And without those fees, pretty much the estimates for the budget wouldn't mean anything.
Now, the Senate must pass its own fiscal year 2021 budget and pass it on to the House for acceptance or rejection. Reporting for KSPN News, I'm Sally Limis.
The CNMI is officially ready for the 2020 election with 2 bills signed into law. Sally Limas has more.
Election day is right around the corner, and Governor Ralph Torres has signed 2 election bills into law. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Commonwealth Election Commission and the Governor's Task Force worked together to make some adjustments for a smooth and safe election season. Public Law 21-33 allows a CEC board member to attend, participate, and vote in an official meeting through online platforms or phone calls. And Public Law 21-34 aims to suspend certain CNMI election laws, but just for this year. This coming election day, the CNMI will be extending the early voting period, have more polling places, extend hours of operations, and curbside voting will be available. CEC will also be collecting absentee ballots 7 days before the general election and 14 days after. But all these changes will automatically expire on November 18, 2020. I'm Sally Limis for KSPN News.
Bail is set at $20,000 for a male arrested for domestic violence and strangulation. According to the Department of Public Safety, on Monday, September 21st, officers from DPS were called to a home in Dandan on a report of disturbance. When officers arrived, the owner of the house stated his son, Henry Ennis, was fighting with his wife. Officers separated the couple and after questioning, found that Ennis had allegedly punched, kicked, pulled hair, and strangled his wife. Ennis was arrested and brought to Kanoa for COVID-19 clearance before being booked and detained at the Department of Corrections. On September 22nd, Judge Camacho issued a Rule 5 on charges of assault and battery, disturbing the peace, domestic violence, and strangulation. But the violence doesn't stop there. On Tuesday, September 22nd, officers responded to a call in the village of Garapan for a separate case of domestic violence. When officers arrived, a male stated his girlfriend, Quina Fitiel, had repeatedly punched and kicked him. Further investigation revealed the couple had argued over a missing wallet after being dropped home from a party they had attended together. Fitiel accused the male of taking her wallet. Police arrested Fitiel, where she was cleared for COVID-19 at Kanoa before being booked and detained at the Department of Corrections. Judge Teresa Kim Tenorio set bail at $2,000 for charges of assault and battery, disturbing the peace, and domestic violence. Officials from the Office of the Governor are working on a program to make doing business in the Sinamay much easier. It's the one-stop shop online portal for business licensing and permitting, making the process for those looking to start a business in the Sinamay less difficult.
Anybody who wants to do any kind of development, any kind of construction, renovation, earth moving. So even if you wanted to put up a fence, dig post holes, for example, you're required to apply for a permit, one start permit. And that begins at CRM and is meted out to the various permitting agencies, HPO, for example. And before you do, you can start on any project or do any kind of earth moving, you have to have that permit in hand, and it can be a fairly lengthy process.
Meaning it could take months before everything is approved in order to receive the permit, resulting in potential loss of an investor or developer.
So if it involves areas of environmental interest or historic preservation interest, the timeline on getting your permit and the requirements involved can be substantial.
Hunter says a one-stop shop is the ideal way to go, but since in-person is not an option, an online portal is the next best way of getting representation of all agencies in one place.
We can use technology to create this one-stop shop. So we're looking at setting up a portal for permitting, and beyond permitting, we're really now looking at a business portal. So if you're an investor or a developer in Singapore, you can get online, you can submit your documents, you can have access to business licensing applications, zoning applications, Department of Public Works permits, commerces, employee insurance firms. Everything is tied into the system, including the One Start permitting. And everything is trackable real time. So when you go on to, whether you're the permitting agency or the permit applicant, you can get on the site and find out exactly where your permit is at each of the agencies, exactly what is being worked on or what is required at that point in time at each of the permitting agencies.
With a goal of solving all the issues the Sinamay currently has with permitting, Hunter says they are currently working on the tech side of the program. The next step will be sending out a bid to develop the portal. The Department of Public Works is looking to help those on the island of Tinian reduce the cost of utilities. This is through the 2020 Tinian Energy Efficient LED Lighting Promotional and Educational Awareness Campaign, where on Friday, September 25th, DPW will be distributing 8 LED light bulbs per household. These LED bulbs will reduce the cost of utilities of each household. DPW states the bulbs will be distributed on a first-come, first-served basis and will be given out at the Tinian Gymnasium parking lot from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And if needed, the event will carry over to Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon. To avail, a customer must present a copy of a government-issued ID card and a copy of the most recent utility bill with the name on the account. DPW states businesses, rental property owners, and landlords are not eligible. Coming up, millions of dollars have been awarded to the Sinamay for the water sewer infrastructure. More on this after the break.
Students get smart savings at IT&E with free selected Samsung Galaxy phones and awesome discounts on plans. Get the Samsung Galaxy A7 One for free and 10 gigs of 4G LTE data for just $45 a month. Choose the Samsung Galaxy A11 for free and 5 gigs of 4G LTE data for just $27 a month. Or browse our entire selection of phones and plans and still get a 10% discount on any monthly plan. Go to ite.net for details.
Make it special. Make it 360. The best food and views all the way around.
Choose the right seat and reduce the risk of injury to your child. Infants need to be in the rear-facing car seats. Keep them here until they outgrow the seat. A forward-facing car seat has a harness. This will help limit your child's forward movement during a crash. As your child grows, you can move them into a booster seat, but make sure they are in the back seat. Before using a seatbelt, make sure the belt can fit your child properly. The lap belt must lie snugly across the upper thighs and the shoulder belt across the shoulder and chest. Keep your child in the back seat at least through age 12. It's the safest place.
Buckle up. Every trip, every time.
Winigi Piechay Pharmacy in Gofadahi, Ihinim Lomu.
Our complete line of pharmaceuticals and lowest prices ensure you get the treatment that you deserve.
Our compassionate, friendly, multilingual staff will take the time to get to know you, explain your medications to you, and answer any questions that you may have.
Ngere eyor sumaye uhalweres ren, kutsu wayor safeye emal ebalisyu klalyam weres.
Inumin ng inyong gamot ayon sa inireseta ng inyong doktor at alinsunod sa bilin ng inyong pharmaceutical.
We accept most insurance, but in case you don't have coverage, we offer cost-effective generic drugs.
PHI Pharmacy, your lifelong partner in health. PHI, the pharmacy you can trust.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. The CNMI has been awarded $17.5 million for water sewer infrastructure. Take a listen. This award is from the Environmental Protection Agency. $10.4 million of the funds is from last year's Disaster Relief Act that was included by Congressman Gregorio Sablan. The additional $7.2 million is from funds set aside for the Marianas and other territories for fiscal year 2020. Congressman Sablan says he has been able to increase the money from EPA set aside every year since 2010 by 1.5%.
This is where we were in the beginning. And so we were able to, we actually increased the formula, so the more money the pot has, the more money we get. And it increases, and this is cumulative, of course, but you can see the difference just in the first year. I mean, it's increased about six and a half times more. And that has been able to make everybody in Saipan, almost everybody, 24/7 water.
Congressman says the effort now is to focus on having tap water in the CNMI that people can drink. On Guam, Homeland Security says there is no evident threat on videos of a Chinese missile attack against Andersen Air Force Base, but this matter should still be looked at thoroughly. KUAM reports.
Half a day CNMI, here's what's making news on Guam. The Office of Guam Homeland Security says there is no imminent threat of a Chinese missile attack. This after national and international media reports started circulating about a Chinese Air Force video that purportedly depicts a missile attack against Andersen Air Force Base. But as Nestor Lecanto reports, even the commander of the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command warns not to take China's saber rattling too lightly.
In a virtual roundtable discussion last week on Indo-Pacific missile defense solutions, Admiral Philip Davidson spoke about the growing tensions with Beijing.
China is the most significant strategic threat and will be the challenge to the United States for the 21st century.
But Admiral Davidson said the U.S. is actively designing a posture to persuade potential adversaries that any preemptive military action will be costly and likely fail.
This is accomplished by sustaining a posture of credible combat power forward in the Western Pacific that provides our national leaders with the options to deter and to manage crisis all the way up to full war planning and war plan execution if it becomes necessary.
The Admiral's speech came last Thursday before news reports of the Chinese Air Force video depicting Guam as a target came out. But even then, he issued a warning.
The threat of air and missile attacks alone from an increasingly capable China should be concerning for every one of us.
Earlier this year, and again during last week's speech, he pushed for a more than $1 billion 360-degree air and missile defense system to be built in Guam.
Guam is U.S. homeland. It's part of our territory, but also more than just homeland to U.S. Indo-Pacific Command. It is a critical nexus for our command and control, for our sustainment, for our logistics, and for our power projection. For many in the region, it defines us as a Western Pacific power.
He says, make no mistake about it, China is in year 70 of a 100-year plan to replace the United States as the global, political, economic, and military leader. America, he says, must be ready to respond. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
For more Guam news, go to KUAM.com. Reporting for KSPN2 News, I'm Sabrina Salas Matanani.
Thank you, Sabrina, for that sobering report. All right, coming up in the KSPN2 Sports Report, don't flip out, but we're going to flip next.
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Ghost Gym, and today I want to go over some exercises that you can easily apply into your current exercise program. Now I have here with me Vince, and he's going to be demoing some of those exercises. Now the first one today is going to be a one-arm dumbbell row. Before I have Vince here execute a few reps, what we want to remember with virtually any exercise is your setup. If you start in a bad position, it's not going to look good, and it's certainly not going to feel good. So a common mistake with here is obviously a rounded upper back, and as you can see, he's not very rigid or stable. So what we're gonna do is correct that just a little bit. So his supporting arm and his leg that's supported on the bench as well we wanna lock that in. Open up that leg a little bit to allow for a better path on that dumbbell. With the elbows coming up way too high, you can see the shoulders riding forward, and that's not what we want. So ideally, what you wanna think about is pulling with your elbows and stopping right at the midline of your body. So in this position right here, you can feel his entire upper back along with his core.
Thank you for being here with us.
For finding ways to keep things happening.
For making things feel a lot better.
Thank you.
Energize, realize, feels so good just to be alive. Time's a gift, my time is free. I can spend it on you, you can spend it on me. I can say you'll be blown away by the change you see me. And I feel alright, dance all night, put a little flavor in my life.
Thank you for staying strong with us.
And for us.
Thank you for always connecting.
For keeping us together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding us
that despite this distance,
we are still better together.
Docomo Pacific, better together.
Tonight's sports brought to you in part by Tan Holdings through the Tan Su Lin Foundation, making communities a better place to live.
Buenas sports fans.
Bueno, sports fans, hey, we've got a big fight coming up. It's Spam against Hot Dog. We're going to save it because we're a little bit long, so we've got something else for you tonight. The Miami Heat, upsetting the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Denver Nuggets upsetting the Los Angeles Clippers was nothing compared to the upsets in the Beach Ultimate Frisbee League playoffs. And that's why the Buffalo is just about as exciting as the NBA. Just about, almost close to it in a way, in a small way. Maybe. Anyway, the beach beats the bubble any day. Last Thursday, Pepto-Bismol Day in round one of these Buffalo playoffs. Top-seeded, undefeated Green taking on last place White. Krista Travis for the first score. White skin equals white shirts. Throw out the records. It's the playoffs where losers go home to cry tears of agony and despair, while winners go home to cry tears of happiness. Wait, there's no crying in Frisbee. Flick it. Go Green. Julius to Matt. TJ to Steve for the tie. TJ can flick the frizz. Natalie to Robbie all alone. Did you know Robbie used to work in the circus as a juggler? 4-4 the score. White jumps back on top when Travis sneaks behind everyone. The sun set. It was getting dark. Not too dark for Steve to see. Julius open in the corner. Here comes White. Travis with the snag. Natalie to Chris. Did he get both feet in? Yes. Oh, good thing there's no instant replay. Julius to TJ. Oh, we got a game. Go Green. 7-7. Yeah, it was 7-up. There's that Chris and Travis connection again. Textbook. 8-7. The sun was setting on Green. Robbie with the toss. Knock it down, big man. Knock it down. He didn't. Chris with the game winner. Before that, number 2 Red versus number 3 Blue. There's a picture worth keeping. Mike capturing his 13-year-old son Jasper just in front of the goal line. And that leads to a score on this short completion to Colin. 2-zip Blue. Alex, who does not have any blue shirts, to Julie, to Jasper, who tips the disc to himself. 3-zip. Julie, she sees Jasper and it was 4-0. Would Red respond? Does the Vatican have a sports council? Yes, of course. Koo gets red on the scoreboard. The Stephen to Koo connection strikes again. And here comes Red. Alex to Matt on the sideline. Blue stops the bleeding. Get it? Red. Red's not dead. They were just bleeding. Trey to Stephen. Dick to Trey. The wily vets honing their skill set on the sands of Garapan. Could they do it again? Does the Vatican have a sports council? Red down by 1. And Stephen found Trey deep. It was 8-7. First 1-9 wins. Cala beats the D-back. Blue gives Red a stomach ache. It's Blue versus White for the championship tomorrow.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Go-karts, off-roading, and the driving range now open at Marianas Trekking. Go-kart track will be open Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays with 50% off when you book online at marianastrekking.com. Hours 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Use the promo code HOFFA50 to get your discount. Off-roading is open too by reservation. Come on a 90-minute trail ride that is perfect for families. Book online at marianastrekking.com. Golfers, come practice on the driving range. You can even pay online and we will have the balls waiting for you. Come see us weekends at Marianas Trekking, 323-8735. Do you have the flexibility to work out between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m.? At Gold's Gym, we call this off-peak, and it can save you money. Short-term, daytime memberships on sale now, just $59 per month, and gets you access to the biggest and cleanest fitness center on island. Get yourself healthy and strong. Check out Gold's Gym today. Get your game and gear at Gold's Gym Saipan. Group exercise is a great way to get fit and then stay fit. For something high tempo, go for a ride with one of our instructors in our new spin room. Let's roll. Pilates improves flexibility, builds strength, and develops control and endurance in the whole human body. It also improves coordination and balance. And the Shake Cafe is a great place to stop by for a meal replacement or supplement. See you at Gold's Gym.
Today's high 89, the low 80, the heat index 104. Humidity 72%. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, isolated showers, winds light and variable, high 89, low 79, seas 3 feet. Sunrise at 6:06, a low tide at 7:15 in the morning, high tide 2:49, sunset 6:11. And by the way, for your information, the equinox not on Saipan yesterday. For Saipan, it's going to be October the 1st, just for your clarification. And that is your news, your sports, and your weather on this Wednesday. Thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see you back here on Friday evening.